Hi, this is James Johnson from JamesJohnsonSalesCars.com, and today we're taking a look at a Scion XB, and what we're looking at is what's called a Crumple Zone. This vehicle, front and back, are designed so that in the event of impact, severe rear-ending or pulling into somebody or something like this one did, the car is going to fold up. It's already decided exactly where the car is going to bend, where it's going to crumple, and therefore the hood's not going to come flying through the windshield, injuring the passenger or driver. The shock is also absorbed by the collapsing of the fenders, and that will reduce the shock to the passenger and driver. Also, you can't really see it here, but it's also designed that the hood's not going to come flying through the windshield. The way it's anchored, it's going to fold up and absorb the shock. Everything worked exactly the way it was supposed to here. Now, this looks like a wreck because it was in a wreck. But this car literally saved a life because it absorbed all the shock. It folded, it creased exactly as it was designed to. And because of that, it looks like there was a lot of force, but still, the airbags did not deploy. Airbags will deploy when there's sufficient force and the right angle to protect the driver and passengers. As you can see here in this XB, airbags do not deploy. So as bad as it looks on the outside, the reason it folded up like this was to protect the occupants on the inside. Everything worked exactly the way it's supposed to. If it had been hit from behind, same thing. There would have been an accordion effect, absorbing the shock, protecting the rear seat passengers. So as bad as it looks, this car did its job. As bad as it looks, airbags still did not deploy because there wasn't a severe threat to the driver. If it had been enough force, not only would the fenders have continued to fold and absorb the shock, but the engine mounts are designed on this vehicle that they would have snapped and the engine would have dropped and rolled under the car rather than come crushing in on the legs of the occupants. So we see here what looks like a pretty bad accident, and it probably wasn't as bad as it looks, but it did protect the occupants. There was no need for the airbags to deploy. So this car did its job. It's a successful folding of the front end exactly as it was designed. We can always replace cars. We can't always replace human beings and human parts. This is James Johnson from JamesJohnsonSalesCars.com. Be sure to follow on YouTube channel James Johnson Sales Toyota, Facebook page James Johnson Sales Toyota, also on Instagram and Twitter James Johnson Sales Toyota.